My name is Tim Evans with Evans Tire and Automotive here in Smithfield, and we've been in business since 1972, and I'm a second generation owner.
What are the different types of positions available at Evans Automotive?
There are a variety of roles and positions that we have here at Evans Tire and Automotive. As with any automotive shop, we have, of course, obviously we have technicians who are working on the cars. We also have salespeople or service advisors that are working with the clients. We have a porter who shuttles customers to and from work, picks up parts, runs errands. We also have office ladies who take care of our accounting duties. So a variety of things that make up the positions we have here.
What does a typical day on the job look like?
A typical day for us is there's really no such thing as a typical day because every day is different. But generally speaking, we're here early. We open up officially at 7:30. We're here typically, those of us that are up front, we're here by 6:30, 6:45. We're answering the telephones, working with clients, checking in cars. We're getting ordering parts. We're doing all the things that are necessary to keep the day going. The technicians, they'll typically arrive around 7:30 is their time that they show up, and they're working on cars. They'll, throughout the day, depending on the services that are needed.
Why did you decide to pursue a career in the automotive industry?
As I'd mentioned, I'm a second generation owner. My father started the business in 1972, and I came on board full time in 1980. And I've always enjoyed cars and all the things that go along with cars, but I also enjoy problem solving, and that's what we do all day long. We solve customers' problems, their needs maybe for transportation, or their problems that they have with the car. And those are the things that drew me into the industry.
What is your educational background?
My education is a variety of things. I jokingly say that a lot of it is School of Hard Knocks, which is just learning as you go. But I did graduate from high school, went on to earn an associate degree in business management. And from there, where I'm constantly doing technical training to learn all the changes that are going on in our industry, which is all of our technicians are required to take 40 hours of continuing education training each year to try to stay current on the changes that are happening.
What is the most interesting aspect of working in your industry?
I'm not really sure what the most interesting thing would be, but for me, it's that every day is different. We're not dealing with the same thing. We're not dealing with widgets that come down a conveyor belt and we do the same thing. Every person's different. We work with different personalities of clients. Every car can be different. So I just like the change. Nothing's the same as it was yesterday.
What is the most valuable lesson you have learned during your career?
The most valuable thing I think that I've learned in our industry is that you have to be willing to change, because the automobile has changed more probably in the last 20 years than it changed in the 50, 60, or 70 years before that. You've got to embrace the change and take it and be successful with it.
What changes have occurred in the auto industry since you began working in this field?
The changes that I've seen basically in the automobile has been the technology. 40 years ago, 30 years ago, we did have electronics on cars, but not very many. Today, we're dealing with computer systems, we're dealing with networks, we're dealing with a lot of things that require a higher level of skill, higher level of training and education to be able to work on the new modern automobile. Changes coming up in the future, who knows what those are. We're seeing electric cars now. Even in today's cars, we're having collision avoidance systems on there. lane change, all these adaptive cruise controls. The list goes on about the things that we're seeing, and who knows what's coming up in the future.
What skills are important to have that will assist in being successful in this career pathway?
There are a variety of skills that are required to be successful in this industry, whether you're on the upfront sales side of things or whether you're a technician in the back. We have to have good communication skills. We have to be able to read and write legibly, which is sometimes a challenge. We have to have keyboarding skills, computer skills, analytical skills to be able to process a problem and find solutions for it. Your basic math skills are necessary in our industry. Physics, science, I mean, we use every bit of it in everything that we do. So I would encourage you to make sure that while you are sitting in that class, maybe you're thinking that this isn't important. I can assure you at some point in time you'll bring that back out and you'll realize that it made sense and it's important in this industry, and I'm sure in other industries as well.
What is the hardest part of working in the automotive industry?
Working in the automotive industry is not an easy job. It is, we're working in the hot, we're working in the cold, we're having to get dirty. It's not a clean job, so a lot of people shy away from that. But it can be a very rewarding job because you're going to see the progress. You'll see a job come in, there's a car that's broken, you'll see it go out repaired. One of some of the other challenges that we have, we've talked about it earlier, is that is all the constant change, the technology. And it makes it very difficult to stay on top of it, but it's possible if you work hard at it.
What are the working hours for a career in this industry?
The hours in this industry can vary depending on the company that you're working with. If you're working with a large retailer, they're typically going to have 6 to 7 day work weeks, but you may be working weekends, you may be working nights. Some metro markets actually have second and third shifts that run in their auto repair shops. Now we're a Monday through Friday shop. 7:30 to 5:30 are our typical hours. Sometimes we're here earlier than that, as I've mentioned before, and sometimes we're working late if we have a customer that's broken down and they have to be somewhere. We try to stay to get them on the road.
What are entry-level pay ranges?
A starting technician, depending on what skills they may bring, just as a starting, maybe a cleanup person, you can figure $8 to $10 per hour. But a skilled technician that's certified, that's working, we typically call it flat rate or billable hours. They can make $50, $60, $70, $80,000 per year and higher, again, depending on your skill set, plus also the market and the type of car that you're working on.
Are there career advancement opportunities?
There are lots of career advancement opportunities in this industry. You can come in as basically as an apprentice, work yourself into as a general service technician working by themselves. Then from that point, go into a full master certified technician. Then it can, depending on your skills and your desires, you can go into sales, and then ultimately you can become an owner and own your own business.
What advice do you have for high school students that are interested in this career pathway?
As far as things that as a high school student looking to come into this industry, I would encourage you, number one, stay in school. Pay attention. Learn those basic reading and writing skills. Learn those math skills. There's just so many pieces and things that we need in this industry. Everything from learning how to show up on time. These are important skills that a lot of times aren't taught in the high school, but they're important in the job market. And just making sure that you're doing as good as you can do, and be a lifelong learner, because once you're out of school and in this industry, as I mentioned before, change is as fast upon us. You're always going to be going to school, learning the new technologies.
What is the current job market like in the automotive industry?
There are a lot of opportunities out here in the automotive industry. There's actually a technician shortage that's out there. We're having older technicians that have retired, and we're not always having younger technicians come into the industry because it is a little harder work than maybe working in an IT field or something like that. So there's definitely a need for the trades, whether it's a plumber, electrician, automotive technician. People that are willing to work with their hands in the coming years will be able to write their own paychecks because they'll be in such high demand.
Let's shadow an automotive technician as he uses a tire pressure monitoring system. Let's watch as he removes tires from a car. We will now shadow an automotive technician as he works on a fuel pump.
Complaining about a fluid leak. We did a pressure test on the vehicle and found that the water pump is leaking. So today we're going to be replacing the water pump, thermostat, hoses, and some other components on the vehicle.
About how long does that take?
Book time for everything we're doing is about 9 hours. It will actually take that long, just depends on how good I can do my job.
Do you have to order special parts in order to replace the pumps?
Not the parts. It's pretty common. Most GMs carry the same water pump on these engines. Parts are all usually readily available. Got multiple different sources to source them from. So.
Did you attend an automotive program to learn how to change out pumps?
Yeah, I actually attended one up north in Maryland. I went to Lincoln Tech. That was more or less just to get some kind of schooling background so someone would be interested in actually hiring.
Okay.
Hard to get in the field if you've only got experience at home.
Mm-hmm. Questions?